we'll be okay.
I think we'll
be okay. Happy Wednesday, everybody. The Dream Team is here for coffee with the coaches. Oh yeah, we got Coach Sean, Coach Ariana, Coach Kat, Coach Gus, and Coach Valencia right here. This is going to be super fun. We're going to be talking today, you guys, about how we kind of get our minds right and we get ourselves in a good place. Maybe it's through meditation or some other stuff. Stay tuned and you'll learn. But you guys, this week in the studio, our theme of the week is self-love, and we all want to encourage you guys to love yourselves up, treat yourself right, take care of yourself, because you are the most important person in your life, all right? And we are here for you guys. Cool. All right, let's see who's jumping on over here. Cool. Are you,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, all right, cool. Sweet. All right, you guys, so do we want to jump into this today, or do we want to talk about anything else? Is there anything else you guys feel like you want to share?
Is there anything you guys want to get off your chest?
Yeah, is there anything you need to let out? Oh man, I hope everybody enjoyed the flowers that you guys got on, what was that, Saturday? I have a ton of pictures from that day, and I will be posting those by tomorrow, all right? But we have a couple of them left over. Okay, all right, so Valencia, you wanted to kick us off here?
Yes, because I'm the brainchild of all this, I suppose.
Hold on, I gotta give a shout out to Brandon.
Yes.
He gave me this amazing customized cup that's got my name on the bottom. Yeah, I've had it for a while and I just always forget to bring it in, and it's so beautiful. Love it. Thank you, Brandon.
Okay. Mine has Captain America on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we got us, and I think you got Daniel one too, so super cool. All right.
Don't worry, you guys will get through with it. No, but all right. Hi, Beauty. Hi, Angie. Nice to see you guys.
Hello. What's up, fam?
Beauty said, "Love myself and love you guys. Great coaches."
Oh, we love you too.
And Angie said, "Hi. How is everyone?"
Hi, Angie.
Good.
I'm with you guys though, man. I'm super sore. I know you guys are feeling it from yesterday. I'm feeling it too.
So, we're getting into it right now. So today, we're pretty much going to talk about meditation, and it's kind of a very loose term because it's kind of to each their own, and there's the very literal sense of meditating and the practice and the skill set of it, which Coach Kat, if you have those questions, she will answer all of them. Every single one. One of us is going to get close to falling. I was last week. So there's the very literal sense of it, which is doing those meditative practices. Again, Coach Kat is, your go-to person for those questions, and I'm sure she's going to go into depth on it a little bit here. But for everybody, we all have something that's kind of meditative to us, that allows us to kind of get out of our own head, or even all the thoughts that are in it, get it out and feel a lot more relaxed, calm, and centered. And I know we're a very big variety of people here that are all driven towards the same goal. When it comes to inside of here, so it's going to be really cool to see everybody's perspective on what they do. And to some of us, it's going to be a little extreme. By extreme, I mean it's me and all the stuff that I do that helps me clear my head, and and just the varying amount of things that really help you relax. So before we get into it, I want you guys to kind of put down what helps you relax at the end of the day, or what kind of gets you centered or makes you feel calm. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say.
Yes. We're always up to hear it too.
So, who wants to kick this off? Kat, do you want to do it so we can go the traditional route and then kind of digress from there?
She's going to start levitating.
Yeah. So I mean, like Valencia said, there's so many different forms of meditation. Whether it's what you might think of when you think of meditation, like I just did right now, cross-leg position, chanting Om, whatever. Like that is meditation. But even when it comes to that, there's so many different ways you can meditate. You can listen to somebody guide you through a meditation. You can just listen to music. You can do silent meditation. You can do walking meditation. You don't have to have your eyes closed. There's so many different ways to do it. And I think if you experiment with it, you'll end up finding something that you like. Anyway, so I got into meditation a few years back, and I practiced it very frequently, and totally fell in love with it. Like just getting in that trance-like state and just kind of escaping for a little while feels so good. And when you come back into like reality, if you will, you just feel so much more calm and peaceful and like excited about life. That's how I always feel after meditation. I feel like rejuvenated. But as of lately, I have not been practicing it as much as I'd like. But I've gone through different stages. So when I first started meditating, I did guided meditation. I would like find a thing on YouTube or whatever and just kind of have somebody talk me through it, because it is hard to kind of stop your thoughts, right? So I've done that, and then once I got comfortable with it, I actually don't really like doing guided meditations anymore. It bothers me because like I know how to meditate and I can do it myself, so I'd rather just like talk myself through it. So I taught myself how to meditate, and I used to like put like light music on, and I would go through just like affirmations in my mind to the point where then now I can like just not think of anything. So instead of letting my mind just race, I would let it race with positive affirmations, and then it would just kind of calm it down, and then I could just be and breathe and listen to my meditation music. So I did that for a long time. I've also guided a lot of people through meditation, which I get a kick out of. But what I've been doing recently, and I think everybody should try this because this is new for me and I'm really getting a kick out of it, is just doing silent meditation. Okay, so what I've been doing, and I know it's like, it's hard and it is gonna take some time and you do have to be patient, but what you do, like, so what I do, I have a Zen den in my home. I have a room dedicated for my yoga and my meditation practice. So what I've been doing lately is I sit in there and it's like quiet. Like I don't have any music on and it's just me in that room. And if you sit there and you close your eyes, like your thoughts go all over the place. But if you just sit there long enough, eventually those thoughts will start to quiet down, and it'll get so quiet, and you'll start to hear like traffic going by outside. You'll start to hear like the birds chirping outside. You'll start to hear like water running through your house and stuff. And it's so amazing to me because it's like all of that noise was there. You just couldn't hear it because of your mind wouldn't shut up. Like it's so crazy because like you're sitting there and you just like you can't hear all that noise, but if you just sit there long enough, eventually you'll hear them, and that is just so peaceful because you literally are just like being present in that moment. And then when you come out of that, you feel so relaxed and much more present. That's what I've been doing recently to get back into my meditation practice, because it has been hard for me. So I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna sit here and just wait till I can hear the birds outside. Then I know like I'm there. So that's what I've been doing lately. But again, you don't have to do it that way, or you don't have to just sit there in silence. You can even sit in a chair, or you can go out for a walk and then just try to like focus in nature and stuff. But yeah, I try to do that a couple times out of the week, and so that's what I do for to get my mind right and to kind of calm it down. Yeah.
I'll get there soon. I'll try it out. I think I tried to do, this was a while ago, I tried to do like breathwork meditation, and I'm getting guided through it, and like they're literally telling you to breathe and like to do this stuff, and I would just forget to breathe somehow. And I'd get stressed out, so I'm like, oh, and then I'd breathe, and I'm like, oh, this is hard. Like all of that like really meditative, like the actual practices of doing it is a challenge, like a workout in itself. Like it's super like keeping yourself focused and on track.
Yeah, it can be tough, and it's not going to be the same every single time. You know, like I used to be able to meditate, and like within like 2 minutes, I would get in that meditative state. You start to see just like kind of like waves in your mind. But I have to work a lot harder to get there now because I don't practice it so regularly. So I'm getting back into that. So yeah.
So that's what you're going to guide the Dream Team to.
I'm totally up for it. I love guiding people through meditation.
I'm so down.
And going through like chakra balancing meditation is like my favorite to guide people through because it really gets you in tune with like your body.
Spiritual chiropractor.
There you go. Yes. Dude, you start to sit there, and then after time you start like your body just goes. It just starts like your spine gets straight, your shoulders drop, like you just feel so like here, ready to go.
I do agree. I did it. I was telling Coach Kat and Coach Valencia that when I was 15, I just tried it because I've always like heard about it, seen it, and stuff like that. So I tried it that one time, and man, it was like I got into it. It wasn't too long when I just started feeling like super relaxed and like really calm, and everything was just like the best feeling ever. And then right after I opened my eyes, I literally just like turned over and I fell asleep. I literally just dropped and had the best sleep of my life. But I'm not able to get there anymore. I don't know what I did that got me there, but that was the best one that I did. And if you're gonna teach it, I'm so down to learn because I want to feel that again. It was like nice. It was like really peaceful and like resting. And I woke up with so much energy the next day. I remember like it was like early in the day, like 5, and then next day I woke up and I was just like alive.
That's what I'm saying, man. It rejuvenates you. And I think it's important too when you do like meditate, like set an intention for your meditation, but don't have any expectations. Like just kind of like see what happens. Because when you try to like force it and you don't get that, then you just feel like, oh, I can't do this, or like it didn't work. But if you just like be and receive whatever you're gonna receive in that moment, I think that's what it's for. But even with that, you guys, there's tons of different meditations. If anybody wants to know more about like specific meditations, come talk to me. Because there's even like, for some people, it's like, I can't just sit there in silence. Like, you know, like there's meditations where you can do hand movements and you can chant words. So that way, like you're doing something to keep your mind off of like thinking and just kind of focused on what you're doing in that moment. So anyways, all right, I can talk about this all day. So Ariana, what do you do to get your magic?
Actually, a couple weeks ago, I tried to do yoga, and the same thing happened to me. I was on my living room floor, and in the middle of the video, like it was the end of the video, she had us like stretching and breathing in and out, and I knocked out. Like I fell asleep, and I woke up on my living room floor at like 1 in the morning, and I was like, oh no. But, yeah, so that's a new one for me. But my biggest thing to like clear my head when I have a lot going on is to talk to my family and like get everything out. Like that feels like the biggest release to me. I always will like vent to my mom, we'll go walking, and we just have like these, it feels like a therapy session, honestly, where I just get everything out, and she makes me feel not so crazy. And I do the same thing with my cousins. But I would say my other big one is working out, of course, because I used to do exercises where I would like clench my whole body if it felt very tense and then release. And like if you think about it, I was just telling Ali and Tanya that yesterday, that working out, you know, you're really squeezing everything and then you release, and it feels really good. That's why it feels like you're getting out all that tension and all that like pent up energy, and it's just like that nice release. But yeah, those are some that I like to do. Also, just sometimes driving at night and like blasting music. That's just like really like you can clear your head that way. Like even at night when I'm coming home from work, like tired, it's nice to just turn it up and like get nice and relaxed and drive home. I don't know, it's like a thing. I like driving at night, and just.
I used to do that.
Yeah, it's
I
like
used to do that all the time. Just go out, like you're driving nowhere, like just go out in the orchard, just go drive around out there in the
Be
backyard.
careful doing that. I like doing those 3 things a lot. And then sometimes I'll have no music on in the car, and I will literally talk to myself. And I will just talk really. It's a new thing where I'm talking really positively, and I'm almost like manifesting things in a way, just like speaking out loud and telling myself I'm doing a good job sometimes. And that's really been helpful to me. Those I think 4 things.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. Very cool.
About you?
All the way over to me now. Okay. So I think I speak for a lot of people who do work out very often, that working out is always that place that you can go to just get all that energy out that you have pent up from your day, whether you're sitting all day or you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's always nice to get into the gym and just let that all out, shove in those headphones, tune everybody out, nobody else exists, it's just you and the workout. And that's something that I use mainly. That's probably my main release of like just negative energy. But something that I do more often, not more often, but often is I like to just sit in backyards. So it could be my backyard or my buddy David's backyard, it doesn't really matter. And I just sit there in silence and I kind of just lay back and relax and I just let whatever thoughts that I have come into my mind and then I let them go. So if I'm having, if I'm having a high anxiety day or I'm feeling paranoid or I'm super negative that day, I don't try to push those thoughts out because I feel like I'm having them for a reason. So I want to acknowledge that they're there, but I don't want to hold on to them because their negativity, their anxiety, their paranoia, we all know that those things are rational. So I just let them come in. I accept that I had those thoughts and then I let them go. And I just sit there until I kind of sift through all of that information and then I just get up and go about my day. Whether it doesn't really matter what time it is for me, but that's the two things that I do.
Nice. I love that. I totally relate with that. Like anytime I go out to Mother Nature, like going for a hike and stuff, like I always like to have that moment to just kind of sit and just like allow yourself to think of the negative things. Like it's okay, we all have negative thoughts, but you don't want to like sit and dwell in that space either. Just kind of like work your way through it, let it go, and you feel so much better. That's cool. I like that.
Thanks.
Yeah, someone told me that once, that sometimes when, because I have a lot of anxiety sometimes, and sometimes the best thing for you to do is almost allow yourself to feel it, because the more you try to fight it sometimes, the more intense it kind of feels, you feel very like paralyzed by it, but sometimes just letting yourself feel that emotion and like not trying to block it out all the time, it's kind of important to go through that motion, because everybody goes through it, so yeah, good point.
Thanks.
All right.
My turn?
Valencia,
Alright.
you gonna take us to some extremes now, or what?
Like, kind of. My brain is always moving like way faster than like I think, and I'm having like all these thoughts at one time, and it probably like I always need to do something to slow it down. And like I've tried to do like sitting down meditations. Like I've given it a go where I've done like a month of meditation, and I've enjoyed it. It's been cool, but I realize I'm like I don't feel as good as an effect as when I go and do other things. Like for me, running has become one of those things that really keeps me grounded, and I have not been doing it as much as I used to. I'm getting back into it, but that was always one thing that really kept me grounded, because it was less of going on a run that it's gonna be a workout and I'm gonna build up a sweat. Because I like to go on runs at very low intensity. Like if you have a my zone on here, like I'm not going any higher than the blue. Like I'm staying at that rate below, because I don't want it to be like that high intensity like workout. I'm going just to move. And those have helped me kind of free my brain of like everything. Because I'll just go and I'll think. Like I'll have my headphones in and listen to a podcast, or I don't listen to music as much, and it's more of I'm listening to it so people are talking and I'm like almost in conversation. And that allows me to kind of just like process what I'm thinking, process what I'm feeling, process what I'm going through at the moment. And during the run, like it feels like when you run for like an hour and a half to 2 hours, once you're done with that, you don't really care about much like that. All like the stress and anxiety, like it kind of goes away once you did that. And I really enjoy that. And now I say on the extreme side of things is because I'll do some really like extremely like physically demanding things, whether it's like my upcoming challenge that I'm kind of doing, which has absolutely no benefit or reward at the end of it aside from me doing it. We'll talk about that a little bit later or at a different date. But I like to just kind of like push myself to like my physical limits, less to be like, oh, I'm able to do this and it's cool to get done, and more just so that it becomes essentially just me and myself in those moments. Because when I'm pushing myself and trying to go for these really extreme goals, or running for essentially 2 days straight or 3 days straight, it becomes much less of like, oh, what do I have in the future? What's going to go on next? Like when I have those thoughts about the future, it's going to just build up the anxiety and the pressure. And it forces me to be focused on the moment and what I'm doing right now, because anything else is going to stress myself out too much. So it brings me closer to being present and feeling myself and understanding who I am. And for whatever reason, it just takes a lot of physical exertion for me. And that's why I love doing just really heavy lifting or crazy workouts or challenging myself and just testing the limits of what I'm capable of doing, because it brings me way closer to figuring out like who I am, and it just calms me down so much when everybody's looking at me and they're like, this dude is absolutely crazy, I don't know how he does these things, they're insane. And so that's like my form of meditation comes from that. It's not coming from a very calm place, it's going from a very like extremely and physical place, but that whole thing calms me down immensely, and like when I'm done with it, like I can look back and be like, okay, I did that. Like it's cool. Now that's a memory that I have, and it's something that I get to hold on to. It's something I get to cherish. And now, like, what's next? What's the next? What am I gonna do to keep myself present? And it's kind of like that's my process to go through things.
Nice.
So who's enjoying it?
I think it's cool. Like I feel like yoga does the same thing. It's like it forces you to be present and like focus on where you're at. And I think like a common thing here is just like move your body. You guys, like whether it's you're working out or you're going for a run, you're going for a walk, or doing yoga, like our bodies hold a lot of energy, and sometimes that energy can be very stagnant, and your body needs like movement to just kind of like let it out. So whatever your cup of tea is, obviously get your workouts in here in boot camp, but like outside of boot camp too, there's so many benefits that will come for even going for a bike ride or going for a long walk or a run. Clear your head. Cool. All right. What you got, Gus?
Whenever I have like a lot going on and like just a bunch of problems, or they feel like they're problems, I like to just look at, I guess I like to dissect the problems. I like to see where I could be, where either good or bad, like if it could be worse or if it could be better. And what I can't change, I just let it go because I can't change it. And then I focus on what I can change, and then I also just look around and listen to everyone else and like see where everyone else in the world is, and know that it can be worse. So that usually helps me all the time. It just makes me feel good knowing that I should be more appreciative of where I'm at, instead of just like blaming or like why this, why that, why this. Putting more. I feel like that's even more negative. You just complain, or that's my way of thinking. Instead of just accepting what's happening and then just moving forward and changing what you can change, and then also just knowing that it's not that bad. Like it could be worse, or there's someone else that I don't know. There's people that don't have 2 legs, but man, they're working out. There's people who have like, there's different situations, but they still make it work. And if I'm sitting here and letting a little problem just put me down or stop me, I think that's unacceptable. So that's the way I do it, and that's the way I look at it, and that gets me like fired up. Like right now, I'm ready.
Yeah. I'll run with you now, Valencia.
Yeah, you know what? I'm ready.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I do, guys, and that just keeps me focused and where I'm supposed to be. Like it doesn't let me fall off.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like it, yeah, man. We sometimes have these like little problems that we build up to be these big things when it's like really it's not. It's not. I remember on a camping trip like 2 or 3 years ago, we were camping out in the mountains, and I remember just laying there at night under the stars, and there's just like massive trees and all like billion stars and what's so beautiful, and I was just like, man, this like universe is so huge, like these trees, and like we're just this like me, like all of us, we're just this tiny little like speck on this earth. Like how big really are our problems? Like we're just so small, like our problems are very small. We build them up to be like these massive things, but really they're not. And that's why we need to like have practices that we go to help clear our heads and to get ourselves in a better state of thinking and being more positive and relaxed, so that way we don't, just sit in like anxiety or fear or just worry from these things that like, obviously, yes, there are serious problems out there, but like on a regular day-to-day basis, like we make big deals out of such small things.
Yeah. But I still want to get on that meditation.
Like, let's meditate.
I'm trying to reach on that level right there. So.
Astral projection, when you move your body or whatever.
Oh, dude, I've heard about that. Yeah.
So crazy stuff's happened. I won't lie, when I meditated, I'm like, Dude, did I leave my body for a moment? Did I go somewhere? Like, I don't think I was here. But anyways.
I'm scared to do it.
But it's like, it's a very like peaceful and very like positive experience. It's in no way like weird or like, yeah, I mean it is weird, but not in a bad way. It just feels really
New
good.
experience.
Yeah, it's cool. All right, awesome, very cool. Like we all need to go for a run right now.
Yeah.
Alright, I got you guys. You can go.
Did anybody share what do you guys like to do? What gets you and your mind right? Let us know.
So, Rhonda?
Oh, that was a joke.
I was like, I got an old program set up. I know every single day, every single month how long.
Let us know, you guys. Do you guys like to meditate?
I know.
Do you go for runs? Do you do yoga?
I know I've talked to a handful of you guys about little things in here and there that you guys do. I'd love to hear about it.
Yes. Let us know, you guys. Put it in the comments. Put it in the comments. Talk to us.
Yoga is way more challenging than I thought.
Dude, I get so irritated doing yoga. Like I get stressed doing it because, like, listen, when I'm there, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do yoga. It's cool. Let's focus. And then I put on a YouTube video, and it's always like this, like a 5'3" lady. That's like, she's like, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. We're gonna do it. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm pumped. I'm juiced. And then I go to do yoga, and I'm like stretching some weird position. I'm like, lady, listen, I don't move this way. This isn't how I work. And she's like, remember to breathe. And I forget that I haven't been breathing for like 5 minutes. So like the vein in my neck is like popping. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, and that's like the entire set. And like right by the end of it, I'm like, okay, I'm calm. And then my favorite part is when she's like, all right, now just lie down. And then I fall asleep.
It's so cool.
That's my yoga process. I'm trying to get better. I took a class at school at MJC.
Oh my gosh.
I've never felt my core burn like that before.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
did yoga, yeah.
Yes.
Monica
It's a
said-
great core workout, great stretch. I love it. You guys, if you're sore from boot camp, like do some yoga. It is gonna feel so good to lengthen your muscles like that. What we got?
Monica says that cleaning her house and organizing culture.
Yes. Oh,
forgot about that.
I'm so with you on that, Monica. But for me, it's yard work. I like raking my backyard. Oh no, you understand? Like it is such a meditative state for me. I like honestly, there's been so many times when I'm doing my yard work in the backyard where it's like I need to run inside and write this down. Like I come up with some amazing creative thoughts when I'm doing yard work. So I feel you on that. Yes.
There's like there's few times. I'm not gonna say it happens often, but like I'll be cleaning or something like that, and like I just like my brain just like stops thinking, and I'm like really on task. And I'm like so calm, but then someone will like do something, and they're like, "Oh, you need to clean this," and I'm like, "No, I don't want to do it anymore." Like I was riding high, and now I'm just here. But that's like, those are like such like cool moments because it's also like you're not trying to get there, and I think that's what makes it like so much better.
It just happens. You know, it's funny. So I go to conferences every once in a while, whether it's through like our mastermind or whatever it is. And my husband, Sergio, actually brought this to my attention a little while back. So apparently, after a conference, like I get in these like moods where it's like I need clean. I feel like I need to clean something, and I'll like go on this like cleaning binge and clean the heck out of my house and like do the yard. And then I just like get all these amazing ideas of how can I put the information that I received into work, and I feel like, or put it into action. I feel like that's why I get in that like mood to clean, because it lets me process like everything that I heard and like what can I do with this stuff, and I get these amazing ideas.
I've thought about some really cool things when I've been cleaning, but I really don't write them down. But I should, because I just keep going. But I keep thinking, but when I'm done, it's done too.
Yeah.
They go away.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how to think like in the shower, like when like everything's kind of like I have glass, what's it called, doors in the shower that slide back and forth, and like I'll start thinking of stuff, and then I start just writing math. Like it's like the only time. Like listen, hold on. Like
Nobody's looking on.
no, listen, I understand, but it's still one of the only times where like I have nothing to do, right? I have absolutely zero responsibilities or worries, and then everything starts running, and I start thinking about like stuff that I can do, and I'm like, oh. And because I can just write with my finger finger on like the mist on the wall. Like it's the only time where I like enjoy doing math because I'm like thinking of stuff to do. Whether it's like in the workouts, like understanding sets and reps and understanding like how this works, or like just like money things. And I'm like, how can I save X amount of money? And, like my brain just starts working in math when I'm in the shower, and I think it's really meditative because it's the only time I enjoy it.
Hey, that's awesome. That whatever works for you. Right?
Just like in the shower, like.
Oh man.
Ariana, your mom said to walk and
Hi,
jog.
Mom.
Walk and jog, there you go.
Yeah.
I know if Susie was here, she would definitely talk about probably like painting or sketching. Like I think what gets her in a meditative state a little bit is just that having that creative outlet. So maybe some of you guys can relate with that. Like if you guys like painting, journaling, writing, sketching.
So Susie said, I love to read. She said, I love to read, disconnecting from the world through a book and somehow connecting what I read back into my everyday life.
Oh, there you go, reading. All right, reading's good too. Susie, I thought it was going to be like painting or something for you.
She did, she said yes, I was going to say that too.
Painting is a lot of fun and it teaches you patience for sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's cool, it's fun.
I like the ones that have the numbers and I don't have to.
Oh,
just,
yeah.
Like almost like connecting the dots. But with ink.
Yeah, those are cool.
Like for
Like they have like
grown
a
adults, they have
Yeah.
it's like a spirit, like Aaliyah's like painting books.
It doesn't matter, I'll do either. It's like
I have adult coloring books. I like them.
I haven't really.
No, but like the ones that come like become
Yeah.
numbered
Yeah.
and the colors.
Yeah, like-
But there's like 1,000 of them.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
it's
really
like-
cool.
I also have like this really big connected dots book that each of them is 1,000 dots and it takes me like 3 hours to do.
Wow, that's crazy.
So cool.
That sounds meditative right there. Just
You know what else is meditating that I think, well, I used to do with my mom when I was little? Puzzles.
Yeah,
yeah.
stuff.
She used to always, well, the crossword, or whatever. Or no, what are they?
The jigsaw puzzles?
Yeah.
Just
the ones
like
that
connect.
connect.
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot what they're called. But yeah, those puzzles. She used to do them all the time. And she used to do hard ones. And she always told me you gotta start like
The
out
border.
and then in.
Or your way in.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty. I think that's her way of meditating.
There you go. I think you just gotta get something that you can focus on. Like get to work on something. That way you're not just like up here going crazy.
Take your mind off of things.
Yes, focus in. We got anything else?
So you said coloring is actually proven to reduce stress.
Yeah, they have those like those I've seen. I actually have like 2 of those adult coloring books. They're supposed to be like calming. I don't use them, but I have them. All right,
I think that's all I got.
that's all we got. That's all we got.
Same, same.
We'll make sure if anybody wrote anything on IG over
See,
here.
nobody agrees with me. I'm like, alright. I won't take it personally.
I think we're good, but Gustavo, you have a fan on here. Eddie says he's your biggest fan.
So, dude.
Love it. All right, you guys. Cool. If you guys try any of the things that we talked about today, let us know. Let us know how you liked it, how it helped you. And just know that we're here for you guys. If you guys need somebody to talk to, come to us. We got you good, fam.
More meditative.
Or go sit down and meditate. Don't be afraid to be alone with your thoughts. It's all right. All right, you guys. Is that wrapping up our show today? Yes. All right. Thank you guys for joining us today, you guys. Hands in, everybody. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3.